Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Okay, so we have major problem. Well, it's not that much of a major problem, but I'm not going to dramatise it. But the problem is, obviously, now we have Harley's van on the driveway. I've took this van, Amazing Grace, off the driveway. We've been away for about a week, bit of wild camping, and a campsite as well, really nice campsite. And now, in the meantime, I've been looking for storage for this van. Everywhere is booked out. Absolutely everywhere. I've got nowhere to put this van, so now I am kind of having to live in it as well as living in a house. So my wife and daughter are in the house, I'm in the van, got nowhere to put the van. It's a bit of a nightmare, so I need to rent a drive or find somewhere I can put it, but I don't want to park it in the street because I don't want to leave it vulnerable like that. It's a bit of a nightmare. I can't really live in the van, one, because I can't afford to pay to live in the van and pay to live in a house when I'm not in the house. And also I need to be in the house because I need to work on Harley's van so we can get her done and then get her off the drive and then I can go back on the drive. Right, so after a little bit of searching, did find storage for Amazing Grace. So Amazing Grace is in storage, so I'm really happy about that, nice and safe and sound. And now we're in my daughter's van, so we've started work on this one. And we've got a little bit of a leak. Let me show you. Ceiling is saturated everywhere. We've took all the cupboards down and it is bad. It is coming in all over the place. I say it's bad, it looks bad. The worst bit is over here. Let's go up in the corner of the overcab. And the timbers, the stud, I don't know if you can see, is completely gone. I've hooked it all out. It was just mush, or mush, whatever you want. So what we've done, we've got a tarpaulin on the roof. It's raining right now, and we're just having to dry this out. It's all going to have to be dried out. I'm going to replace all the timbers in there, replace a lot of this ply and things like that, and rot treat everything. Obviously, it's dry that side, which is one good thing. But it is literally a case of find the dry patch. But it's alright, it's going to be fixed, no problem. We're going to seal the roof, which is going to be one of the first jobs I'm going to do. But actually, the first job I'm going to do is I'm going to put a max air fan in here. Boop, up there. And then we've got some paint that we're going to put on the roof, which has it's a fiberglass base, or it's got fiberglass in it. It's for ceiling roofs anyway. So that's going to be done, but it is raining. It's raining for the next 2 weeks. So what we need to do is let all this dry out. I'm going to get some heat going, get some windows open and stuff like that. But the whole van's covered in a massive tarpaulin, so there should be no water coming in. And so that's what we're going to do with that. I'm going to take all the trims off all around the van. And I'm going to clean them all up and we're going to reseal them all and everything. And we're going to paint the whole van as well. We weren't going to paint the whole van, but I have noticed on some parts of the van, the aluminium has like tiny little holes in it. I think that's what happens with these older vans. My van, I didn't have the problem because it had been painted before and I painted it again. So we didn't have any of that. So I think it's just one of those things you've got to do with these older vans. But it's good that we got to it now, rather than later. So it looks bad. Harley's freaking out a little bit, but it's going to be okay. We're going to fix it. You know, it's lucky that I have been blessed with the skills to do these things. But it's going to be all right. You'll see. You'll see. Right. So I've hooked out a lot of the rot, as you can see behind me. I'll take a closer look in a minute. And up here and everywhere. But so that it's not all going backwards, I'm going to put the leisure battery in while I'm waiting for this all to dry out. Got a blow heater going up there. Let me just clamber over everything, get you over and have a look. As you can see in this corner, let me just turn this heater off a minute, so you can hear me. All the stud work has been ripped out. It was all rotten, gone. You can see there, all just crumbled up. So I've took out literally all of it There's probably a little bit more I can take out down here. When I'm drying it out, it's a bit soft down here, so I'll probably rip that corner there out as well. You can see it's all gone there up to this corner, and it starts to get more solid as you go down here, so I'll chop that out. And this corner, even though it's damp, is okay. It's still all solid, it's just wet. Up here is wet but okay at the moment. I know what some of you'll say. You'll probably say, rip it out anyway. But it's wet, but it's not soft. This bit and it's come out completely under there. So I've took that out, and now the ceiling is all schmoogel, so I'm going to need to do something with that. This is all starting to dry now up here. So I've had the heat on, and it's all damp all down there, all down the back of the water tank, which is under there. So the water tank will probably have to come out, and then it goes all the way back into the kitchen. The whole roof has been leaking for a very, very long time. There's not a lot else I can do at the moment because we need all this to dry out, and then chop out the remaining bits and bobs, get some new timbers in there, treat all the woodwork that's staying, reply stuff that replace the ply that isn't staying, seal the roof, do all the seals outside, stop the water coming in, and then we can carry on. So what I'm doing at the moment while I'm waiting for that, I've just got the heater blowing. It's getting really hot in here. It's like a sauna, but there's like condensation everywhere. But I've got the windows open, so we're going to let that. It's going to take a few days. It's going to take a few days to dry out. But I'm replacing these batteries. What Harley's done, she's gone for the same as mine. So we've got a 200 amp hour lithium 12 volt battery. That's the old battery. There's one there, and there's one outside. I had two, so it's 110 amp hour AGMs, I think they are. Oh, let's come out here. And there's one in here. So I'm going to get rid of both of them, just put the lithium battery indoors, which will give her an outside locker, because there's a hookup. Give her a little outside locker, which would be nice. I don't really want to put the lithium battery outside. I don't think it will fit in there anyway, because it's way bigger. But you don't want to put them outside, because they don't work too well in low temperatures, so you need to be inside where it's warm. They work optimally, if that's a word. Optimally, it's a good word, isn't it? So I'm going to rig that up and get these batteries out. She can sell those and get a bit of money back to help pay for the damp nightmare. But we'll keep you updated. It's all going to be alright. Don't panic. Never give up. Never give in. Lithium battery now in and running all the 12 volt at the moment. Battery charger charging. All working good. Obviously it looks messy at the moment, but it won't be. Don't stress, people. It's 12.8 volts now. It's climbing gradually, so as it's charging, should be around 13.4, I think, to be fully charged. So it is a little bit on the low side, but we're going to leave that charging up. I think this battery charger is 7 amps. It comes with the battery, which is quite a nice touch. So I'm just going to monitor that, but all good. We're just hooked up into the system, so it's just like for like, really. And what we've got now is a nice little cubby hole for Harley to use. In there at the moment, it's got some of the old wiring that I ripped out, but that's going to be a nice space. You can put some bits and bobs in there, which is cool. Maybe a hookup lead. Maybe her hookup lead or stuff like that. So it's gradually going up, it's gradually climbing. So getting some charge, which it needs. This is all drying out now. I'm just going around with the blow heater and just blasting it all. It doesn't smell as bad as it did. Now we're just going to figure out where the inverter is going to go. This is the inverter, which is a pure sine wave, 3000 watt with a 6000 watt peak. Comes with a battery level, which is quite good. Mine doesn't have that, which is a nice touch. And all the bits and bobs. Obviously it's quite large because it's quite powerful, and it's got to go in here somewhere. But we can't use all of this space because Harley wants a desk here. So really, yeah, it's tricky. So I need her here with me really, so we can decide what we're going to do with that. Obviously can't go in there because that's the gas locker. Maybe we can put it on top somehow. I don't know. She needs to get access to, obviously, to be able to turn it on and off, so we'll see what she says. So here's the inverter, which is going to go down in here. Actually going to go here on the side of the wall there, because we're going to build an electric cupboard, a little similar to what's in my van, which is going to come to the edge of that consumer unit there. And then in here there's going to be a desk where she can put a chair under and get under and do her work there. So I'm going to take all of this out. All of this is coming out. There's nothing under there. There's a plug socket over there, but that's going to come out because we're going to run all brand new wiring and brand new sockets and everything. And I'm just going to make a cupboard that big, I suppose. Still drying out over there. It's been left overnight. It's a nice sunny day. I've opened the windows again. It's still sopping wet back here. It's starting to dry out in places, but it's going to take a while. But yeah, this is day 2. Day 2. We'll call it day 2. Going to start putting this back together. I've hooked out all of the rot and dried it all out. It's a lot of it. So I'm going to get outside. I'm going to show you why this happens. This has been doing this for a hell of a long time, but I'm going to show you what it is. So this is the outside of the van in that corner, and look, there's holes in the aluminium going all up there where that rotten wood was. Loads of holes. And behind the trim I've took this middle bit off, which goes in, sorry, it goes in like that, and took some of the screws out. There is some silicone behind, but you look here, big rusty screw, lots of water in there, so it all needs sealing, and all taken off, cleaning and sealing properly, every single trim on this van, all these holes dealt with. So I should imagine the whole roof is covered in holes. And just look behind that trim there, where the screws were, it's all mouldy and wet, so water's getting in. So this side I've put back, I've put a trim on inside, and I've sealed it all with all-weather sealant, which is great stuff to use underneath. I'm just going to clean all this up, and then I'm going to put more sealant on the outside to make sure them screws are nice and sealed. And I'm going to pop some in here, and then when we paint the van we'll fill all that anyway. And yeah, that has to be done around the whole van. It's going to be time consuming, but it's going to be worth it. Blob of sealant on each screw, covering each screw, and then I'll pop the trim on and then seal it all up on both sides as well, and that should do the trick. Alright, that's the first corner done. Loads more to go. Yippee. We can do this. Till next time. Bye.